Hello, I'm Indigo Owl. Thank you so much for joining me. I have been looking forward to connecting with you with next week's guidance. I like to do the guidance every Wednesday at 8 and look at the week ahead starting from Friday, so you get a little bit of time to look at the week in advance. And I quite like starting with the weekend and then the kind of rest of the week that follows. So for the actual dates of the reading, you can see the note I made to go with this recording. Hello, it's lovely to see you here. I have prepared for today. I've prepared my spiral tarot deck. For there's going to be one card for each of the weekdays, so we're going to have 7 cards from the tarot. I also have my mermaid, I should turn it the other way around, my mermaid and dolphin oracle deck. And I have the combined Speed of Light and Animal Kingdom oracle deck. They're both by Leanne Peters. And she herself has combined those 2 decks for her readings, which has doubled the number from 55 cards to a possible 110 cards that we can draw. Some of the cards in the Speed of Light Oracle deck are actually special feature cards, and they may require me to draw an additional card. So we will have at least 2 Oracle cards for the weekly guidance, but we may end up with more than that. We'll see. I also have here the Angel Daniel, who is present in all of my spiritual work, whether I am reading, channeling, healing, doing my shamanic work. He is always with me. I have this very, very beautiful crystal. Maybe I can show it a bit better. I'll show the other side as well. It is so beautiful. It's a mixture of stilbite and green heulandite. It does amazing deep family trauma healing work. And I also today have got my twin owls here. So I usually put things that resonate with me on the day or in the moment, and also I'm tuning into all of you that will be watching this guidance live or on the replay, to see what is needed for all of us. I also have my beautiful lotus candlelight lit up today. I'm really resonating with this at the moment, and I have some really beautiful incense that you can see a little bit of smoke wafting in. Indeed, I have previously, before I started the reading, cleansed myself with some sage today. We are coming up to the 12/12 portal tomorrow, and it's got a really, really strong energy that definitely we can feel already. And that in combination with Christmas coming up and the year coming to an end can be a bit emotive for all of us. So for you, I've still got a bit of incense here. So if you want to close your eyes just for a few seconds and imagine that incense washing over you and cleansing your aura before we start the actual reading, you're very welcome. Here we go. So I'm going to start by shuffling, and I'm very much drawn to this one first. I'm just going to put this to the side. We don't need that yet. I'm going to start by shuffling the Mermaid and Dolphin Oracle deck. It's one of my oldest card decks. I have many, many card decks. I have been doing this work for a very long time, and the only thing I like even more than buying cards is buying crystals, which I do even more frequently. It's definitely one of my hobbies. I bought some lovely crystals only last weekend. I've started making these macrame necklaces with gold thread. I'm really working with gold at the moment, with the gold healing ray. And also these crystals are blessed when I make them into these necklaces. They are blessed by different spirit guides, sometimes by the Angel Daniel, sometimes by ancestors that have crossed over, sometimes by Mother Mary. I've literally just now been told I will be making one that is blessed by Yeshua, more commonly known as Jesus. I'm a little bit weary mentioning this on Facebook Live. I'm not a religious person at all. I do work with Mother Mary and baby Jesus in a non-religious way. They are beautiful, big healing spirits that we can all connect with without any connection with any kind of a religion or church that gets in the way. If you are religious, just the same, they work with anyone who is asking for their help. So I've started making these necklaces because I'm very, very good at picking the right crystals for people and imbuing these crystals with the right healing from spirit that can really, really help people. So I make these, I can make these necklaces to order. If you have crystals you want to be have made into a necklace, I can do that. If you want me to pick a crystal for you, I can do that too. And so last weekend I have bought a couple of crystals that I will be making into necklaces. And I really, really enjoy doing that work. And while I'm working with the crystal, spirit works through me to kind of prepare the crystal for the best possible healing quality for the person who's going to be wearing it. So another one of the things I really, really enjoy doing in my work. I love that my work is quite varied in that way. And that's the part where I can really work with my hands, and I really enjoy that. So I think we're nearly done shuffling. There is a bit more shuffling to go. Okay, I will shuffle until I feel the shuffling is enough to enable me to 100% draw the best possible card for the theme for this week ahead. And we'll have Stay Optimistic. That is perfect. I was just saying that we have this big portal coming up tomorrow. We have Christmas coming up. We have the end of the year coming up, and it can be a little bit tricky to keep the energy up in that time. And on this card it says, stay optimistic. Your dreams are coming true. Don't quit right before the miracle occurs. What a beautiful message. This is literally saying a miracle is about to occur, and all we need to do now is to keep going just a little bit longer. I know sometimes it can feel like Spirit keeps giving that same message over and over and over, and Spirit keeps saying just keep going a bit longer and you'll get there. And you might look back and say, well, when have I ever got anywhere? But if you actually pay attention, or if you look back very carefully, you will find that along this path, there's a lovely path on here you can see, is you have had bits of the past where you've stopped and bits of your dreams have come true along the way. So Spirit has been right every time. If you were able to remember exactly all of your journey so far, and every single time that Spirit has said to you, something is about to come about for you, unless you've shut down, you will find that it always has. Every time you've shut down, Spirit is not going to force it on you. Even if it's something that Spirit knows you really want, Spirit knows you've asked for repeatedly, Spirit will not force you. If you imagine you were cooking a meal for a young child, and Spirit quite often sees us as young children in some ways. If you were cooking a meal for a young child, and the young child, let's say, has asked for tomato soup, and you want to make this tomato soup extra special, and you cook it from scratch, which takes a lot longer than opening a tin. And sometimes Spirit does that. Sometimes Spirit says, well, let's give something really, really special. And by the time the tomato soup is ready, the child has had so many snacks that the child is no longer hungry. Spirit doesn't get angry. Spirit doesn't stomp around and say, I've just made all that effort cooking that tomato sauce from scratch for you and you're not even eating it. You better eat it now or I'll be upset with you. Spirit doesn't do any of that, because Spirit simply offers this amazingly cooked from scratch, beautiful, tasty tomato soup. And if we turn around and say, I don't want it anymore, or I didn't want it like that, or I wanted it earlier, or I wanted it later, or I wanted it over there or over here, then we don't get our tomato soup. Spirit will not force it. And that is a lesson in itself for us. That is a lesson for us not to force things and to be open to the things we ask for, rather than asking for something and then, while it's being manifested, telling ourselves, oh, I'm never going to get that, that's never going to work out, it never worked out before, why would it work out now? Well, then by the time it comes, we're not going to be open for it. So stay optimistic in this next week. Your dreams are coming true, and don't quit right before the miracle occurs. Let's put this one over here. You can see the lovely mermaid on there. Here we are. I wonder if the second oracle card will come with such a long speech as well. Let's see. Let's have another shuffle. I'll shuffle here so you can at least see the cards while I'm shuffling. Now, the other thing I will be doing soon is my shamanic release circle. The last one for this year is going to be this Friday, Friday the 13th. 13 is an amazing number of transformation. In tarot, it comes with the Death card, and it stands for a spiritual transformation. It stands for a whole big part of our life coming to an end and something completely new starting. However, the Death card often comes at times where there is a fair bit of resistance on our part to the ending. So a perfect day for a shamanic release circle that is focused on releasing on the old energy that no longer serves us, and then like automatically opens us up to the new energy coming in. So if you are in London on Friday, please have a look at the event on my Facebook page and join us if you feel drawn to it. We will be having a sacred cacao ceremony. We will be doing some shamanic drumming and rattling, and we will be drawing some cards, and we will have a shamanic journey at the end. It's usually a very gentle, intimate, beautiful experience for everyone. I tend to have quite small groups, so it's a very, very beautiful setting. I use a lovely yoga room, so the energy is already really lovely when we go in there, and then we try and make it even more lovely before we leave. So that's going to be happening on Friday. These events are going to be every 4 weeks, hopefully, in the new year, but I haven't got the dates yet. So this one is just the last one for this year. Let's draw a card. Yes, I knew it would be an Animal Kingdom Oracle card. And we have, wow! We have the Stag. And how exciting. The Stag says new direction. How perfect from following on, going through the 12/12 portal tomorrow, and then Friday the 13th, the next day, and the first day for this reading that we're doing. And we've got the miracle is about to occur, and it will then, we will be free to move into a new direction. That looks like a lovely new energy coming in. I love how a lot of the colors in the background are mirroring each other on these cards. They work together beautifully. I'm really, really excited. I know if you follow my readings, I say this every time, and every time it's true. I get so excited about what cards will be coming up for the week ahead. So I'm now going to shuffle my spiral tarot deck. It's got these lovely double spirals on the back. And the reason it's called the Spiral Tarot is because it sees life as a series of spirals that we go through. We go from the inside all the way along the spiral until we get to the end, and that's like a whole phase in life. And when we come to the end of that, we go into the next spiral, and that's the next phase in life, and it just carries on spiraling. Children learn really well in things that are set out in spiral format. For example, if you teach geography, a really good way is to start by teaching the location where the child actually lives, and then maybe the location a bit around that, the town around it, the district around it, the borough around it, the county around it, then the country around it, then the continent around it. That way it's connected and it makes sense to children. And I say it again, to spirit, we're sometimes like little children that need to be presented things in a way that is easy to understand. And that isn't meant to sound in any way belittling, because it's not that spirit sees us as little children in terms of that we don't know so much yet. It's more that while we're in this human experience on earth, we have forgotten a lot that we know, and spirit knows that, and spirit is working with us with the amount that we have remembered, and also with the amount that we haven't remembered yet. So my analogy with a child comes from that viewpoint, because children also have a lot of knowledge, and as adults the best way to work with children, teach children, look after children, is to acknowledge that in some ways their knowledge is still quite limited, and in other ways their spirit is huge and old and wise, and it's really important to be respectful of that. And really, children know a lot. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Let's draw some cards for the week ahead. Hello, it's so lovely to have people watching. Sadly, I can't see your comments till afterwards, but I'm so happy that you've joined me for this guidance. Please like, share and comment. Send me some love if you like the guidance. Share with me if any of this guidance resonates with you. I love seeing your comments. I'm so happy that you're watching. This journey is not the same without all of you joining in with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 more, 6 and 7. And we didn't get any additional feature cards at all, so we have actually ended up with 9 cards altogether. So let's start with, there's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So let's start. Oh, sorry, I completely messed that up. Obviously we're starting with Friday this week, so we've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In that case, I'm going to move one down because it makes more sense. I have kept the order of the cards correct. That's the most important thing. Then I'm going to be mixing up the days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from next week. Let's have a look at Friday the 13th. I can only laugh to that. We have the moon. Now, we have the full moon as well the day before, and as many of you probably know, the full moon affects us not just on the day or in the hour or whatever. It affects us a good couple of days before until a couple of days after. So we will still be in the full moon period on the Friday. The full moon stands for all things feminine, intuitive, where things are mysterious and hidden. When the moon shines in the night, we can only see where the moonlight falls. We can't see all around. we have to use our intuition until in the morning the sun comes up and we can see everything. So we may not have all the information we would like to have yet on Friday, but importantly is to stick with our intuition, especially when feeling out this new direction that's starting to come up. Let's look at Saturday. Now that makes perfect sense with the new direction, because Two of Wands in Tarot. Now, Wands in Tarot stand for things to do with career and the spiritual journey through life. It goes with the element of fire. And the Two of Wands shows a man, he's holding a wand, and this is kind of what he's been pursuing so far, most likely in terms of career. And he's been working on this wand for some time, and now he's got to a point where he started to realize that actually there is a whole big world out there, and he's wondering if he should carry on with this wand or if he should go out into the big wide world and try something new. And there is a second wand appearing behind him that maybe he's more sensing rather than he actually knows is there yet. So I'm wondering, together with this card saying new direction, if some of you will be branching out into a different career. It doesn't have to be a completely new career. It could just be taking your career into a new direction that maybe is a continuation of what you've been working on so far. And that's come out for Saturday. How very interesting. So there is stuff that's almost mirroring quite beautifully here, because we have the moon where it's saying stay optimistic. The miracle is about to occur, but we don't know it yet. We have to stick with the intuition that's saying it's worth hanging in there, it's worth to keep working on our dreams. And then by Saturday, we might start to feel this new direction coming into our lives, and things might start to get a bit clearer. Let's have a look at Sunday. We have the Queen of Cups. How beautiful. So Sunday looks like it's going to be an emotionally very fulfilling day. Cups in tarot go with emotions and relationships. And the Queen of Cups is very much someone who has mastered the emotions and relationships in life to an extent where generally she's quite fulfilled in that area of life. And she also likes to enjoy a bit of alone time and nurture herself, because she's quite sensitive. And it doesn't have to be a woman, that can be a woman or a man in tarot. It just shows, represents somebody who is like this Queen of Cups. She's sometimes called the Earth Mother. She's very gentle, she's very kind and compassionate, but she does sometimes also need that time out so that she doesn't pick up so much on other people's emotions, and can just replenish herself. So this might also be a calling for Sunday to nurture ourselves and have a bit of time to kind of for self-care, a bit of time for pampering ourselves before we maybe take that step into the big wide world that's kind of continuing the path in a new direction or branching out. Let's look at Monday. Here we go. So we have another major arcana. We have the Hermit, and the Hermit is a card that very much says this is a time to use your own inner guidance. This is a time where you might need to meditate or find a quiet space and quiet time where you can go inside yourself, to connect with your own inner guidance, your own inner wisdom, which will also automatically, when you go in that space, connect you with your spirit guides. So, and it's come underneath the moon, which is saying use your intuition, and this is saying use your own inner guidance. So in order to make this, help these dreams to manifest in our lives and be ready to start moving forward into this new direction, and this feels like a really exciting new direction. We have to make time for ourselves, to nurture ourselves and seek our own inner counsel. This new direction will kind of come from inside out. This is not something where someone from the outside can say to us, this is what you need to do, or this would work for you, or this would be a great direction for you to go in next. This really has to come from the inside out. Let's have a look at Tuesday. Just as well, I'm only trying to remember the weekdays, and I've stopped trying to remember the dates because I've put the dates in the subtitle for you, and I'm sure you can work it out better than me. While I'm in a reading, my mind becomes split between talking to you and talking to spirit, and it makes it more difficult for me to focus on the kind of more minor details of the kind of earthly life. Tuesday, I do remember that much. Having said all that, I'm now curious what number day Tuesday is, because we now have the Knight of Cups. Now we have Cups again. The Knight of Cups is a card that is sometimes called marriage offer. Now this card doesn't have to do at all with marriage. These cards have symbolic names. But it does have to do with being offered a cup that is really important to you, something that you really want. And now this reading is starting to remind me of a reading we did not long ago for a week that had 3 of those special cups in it, and I think it had the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups and probably the Page of Cups all in one week, and 2 of these cards have come back. So the Knight of Cups, Knights in tarot come for situations with movement and action, and the Knight of Cups comes for situations where we're being offered something that is either a relationship that we really want, or a relationship going to the next level, if that's what we want, or it can be some kind of a project or a new work venture that we feel very passionate about. It has to be something where we have a strong emotional desire for it, but basically we're being offered this cup on Tuesday, and I'm going to work out the number day now, because we've got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I like it. The number 17 is the number of physical immortality. It's the number of the Venus star. And what's really, my eye has really been drawn today to this frog, and I'm going to call it a frog. It looks like it could be a toad, but I'm going to call it the frog because it reminded me of the story of the frog princess, and the saying that you have to kiss a lot of frogs until you find your prince. So for any of you out there who have been kissing a lot of frogs, you may be about to find your prince or princess on Tuesday. And because it's the number day of immortality, this may well be a very long lasting, if not eternal, soul relationship, if it is a relationship. So let's have a look at Wednesday. Aha. So we've had all the emotions. Now we're back to thinking and logic. The Ace of Swords. Swords in tarot come for things to do with thinking and logic. It goes with the element of air. It goes with our mind. The Ace of Swords in particular, aces come for new beginnings and new challenges that are being offered to us from heaven, from spirit. And the Ace of Swords can sometimes represent taking the sword, as in your own mental logic and knowledge and ability to reason, and cutting to the crux of the matter. So it feels like there is all this stuff building up where we're getting ready to go in a new direction, which will ultimately require us to open our hearts further or reopen our hearts, and we may be coming up against some resistance along the way, which might challenge us with the staying optimistic. And sometimes the difficulty with staying optimistic is not because we find it so hard to believe that we might actually get what we want. It's actually as we get closer to getting what we want, we might start to get scared of actually getting it. So that's where the intuition and the self-care and the own inner guidance will be useful, so that we will feel able to accept this offer, and it might then require us to take a course of action. This can represent a new course of study. So if we are going in a new direction in our career, we may actually need to do some more studying, some more learning. It may have to do with a important conversation we need to have with one or more people. It may be a conversation we have to have with ourselves, because once this is being offered, we have to actually digest that and integrate that. So we might have to cut away some of our own outworn old inner beliefs that are really not helpful, that are being really challenged and triggered by these changes of our dreams actually coming true and us actually moving in a whole new direction. So this looks like Wednesday's going to be a very powerful day with a very strong energy for clearing the mind, clearing the clutter in our life, and moving forward, where we've been kind of moving forward on an emotional level rather than moving forward on a mental level. We've got one more day to look at, which is Thursday. What a way to finish this beautiful reading. Tarot is very blunt, and Tarot will say it how it is. The Devil card in Tarot represents all things that tie us down and stop us from going where we really want to be. Now, and I was just saying, this Ace of Swords might represent us kind of needing to cut away all of the old stuff, and that is what's going to be happening. By Thursday, we're going to start to see very, very clearly, and you can see the Devil is holding up a mirror to this lady in the image to show her what she's really like. And funnily enough, there's those two people right underneath the mirror. They look just like those two owls I've picked for today, and they're holding up this mirror to this woman. On this occasion, it's a woman. So the Devil card for Thursday hasn't come to scare us or punish us or hold us back or anything like that. Actually, it's come to show us the things that are holding us back, that we need to use this sword for. And I've just seen the Success card flash in my mind. Spirit does that sometimes. This is going to be our path to freedom. We're going to be offered something that we have wanted for such a long time, that we finally will be willing to pick up this sword and cut away this old stuff that is getting in the way. This can be relationships that are not right for us, habits that are not good for us, eating the wrong food, not exercising enough, all of those things, keeping the wrong company, being codependent. This can be lots of different things, any kind of addiction. And I'm not just talking about substances. We can be addicted to all kinds of things. This sword is going to be available to us, and this is going to be facing our own inner truths about ourselves, which will enable us to change. If we're not willing to do that, we won't be able to change. But this is all telling me that we will be able to change. A lot of change is possible. I've been asked to say this again. A lot of change is possible for the better over the next week if you are willing to do the work. The more work you do on yourself, the better your life becomes. It may come in bits and pieces, and sometimes it can come in big chunks, but only if we're willing to do the work, only if we're open for it, only if we follow our own inner guidance, which enables us to follow spiritual guidance so much better. I'm getting a little bit of a dry throat. I think I'm sitting too close to the incense. I might move it to the other side. So, we are coming to the end of this beautiful reading. I am looking forward to reading your comments. I didn't manage to upload last week's guidance to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is called Indigo Owl, like me. I didn't manage to press the save button at the right time on my phone. This time I will be more careful, and I will be uploading this video to YouTube. And you can also follow me there. YouTube will always tell you when you subscribe to a channel and the channel has uploaded a new video. Facebook seems to notify some people and not others. So if you don't want to miss any of my weekly guidances, you can also follow me there. Please like, share and comment. Tell me if any of the parts of my readings or the whole readings resonate with you. I love to hear your feedback. If any of it doesn't resonate, then it wasn't for you. Please don't use any parts of my readings to make decisions. Your decisions need to come from a different place. My readings are just here to offer you some guidance and maybe trigger off the right sensations, feelings, thoughts, opening your channel to the guidance that's coming from spirit. You have to follow your own guidance, very importantly. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm very happy to have shared this time with you, and I shall be back next Wednesday, and I'll see you then. Goodbye and namaste.